Are you looking for the best 4K gaming monitors? In this video we will look at some of the best 4K gaming monitors. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 5. LG 27GR93UB. There are a few options you can choose from if you're looking for the best budget 4K gaming monitors. Although entry-level 4K gaming monitors tend to cost more than other simple 4K monitors, like those meant for work, they're worth getting for gaming. If that's what you're interested in, the LG 27GR93UB is a good choice, but there are a few trade-offs versus the Acer Nitro 15275KP3 BiPras. The main difference is that it doesn't have mini LED backlighting or a local dimming feature, so the picture quality is a lot worse, but that's what you have to expect for a budget-friendly monitor. Despite the difference in picture quality, it's good for gaming, with a fast response time at most refresh rates. It has a similar 144Hz refresh rate to the Acer, which is still good enough for most gamers, and it supports HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. Its input lag at 60Hz is also lower than the Acer monitor, which is great for playing reaction-based games, like on consoles. Number 4. Acer Nitro 15275KP3 BiPras. If you're looking for a cheaper 4K gaming monitor in the mid-range market category, check out the Acer Nitro 15275KP3 BiPras instead. It's worth getting when you can find it on sale. It has a lower 160Hz refresh rate than the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32BG85, which is the trade-off as you drop down in the market. It has similar picture quality to the Samsung because it also has mini LED backlighting with decent local dimming, but it has a lower native contrast ratio, so blacks look gray if you don't use local dimming. That said, it's still a good gaming monitor that has a fast response time, so motion looks consistently sharp at any refresh rate. It also supports any type of VRR format, and with HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, there are no compatibility issues with gaming consoles and modern graphics cards. The main downside is that it has increased input lag at 60 Hz, which is disappointing for console gaming. However, that isn't an issue if you game at higher refresh rates or use VRR as the game drops to 60 frames per second. Number 3. Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32BG85. If you find the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM and MSI MPG321 URX QD-OLED too much out of your price range, the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32BG85 is a great alternative that you can get for less when it's on sale. It has a 240Hz refresh rate like the MSI and the ASUS, but the main trade-off is that it doesn't have a QD-OLED panel. This means it doesn't display the same deep blacks without any blooming, and the colors are less vivid, too. That said, it still has good picture quality in HDR with decent mini LED local dimming that improves the contrast ratio and makes some highlights stand out. Although this monitor doesn't deliver the same near-instantaneous response time as the MSI or the ASUS, motion still looks sharp thanks to its fast response time across its VRR range. It also has features you'd expect to find in a gaming monitor, like VRR support and HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. If you don't need such a high refresh rate, the Samsung Odyssey Neo G7S32BG75 is a good alternative with a lower 165Hz refresh rate. It's worth considering if you can find it for less than the Neo G8, but it's also harder to find. Number 2. MSI MPG321 URX QD-OLED. If you find the 32-inch screen of the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM too small, you can also check out the MSI MPG321 URX QD-OLED. It's a similar QD-OLED with a 240Hz refresh rate, with the main difference being the size. Because it has a larger screen with the same resolution as the ASUS, it has lower pixel density, and text and images aren't as sharp. However, the bigger screen also means it offers a more immersive gaming experience, so choosing one over the other really depends on personal preference. There are some differences in features, though, as the MSI lacks DisplayPort 2.1 bandwidth and Dolby Vision, which is a trade-off you need to make for its cheaper cost compared to the ASUS. However, it still offers the same high-end gaming performance with sharp motion and HDMI 2.1 bandwidth to take full advantage of gaming consoles. Plus, it has the same remarkable picture quality as the ASUS, with deep blacks and bright highlights that pop against the rest of the image. Just know that using a QD-OLED in a bright room makes the black levels rise and dark colors desaturate, so it performs best in a dark room. Number 1. ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM. The best 4K gaming monitor we've tested is the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27 UCDM. It's exceptional for gaming while offering incredible picture quality. With a QD-OLED panel, it has a near-instantaneous response time, resulting in sharp motion, and its 240Hz refresh rate is high enough for most gamers. Plus, it supports both HDMI and DisplayPort 2.1 bandwidth, which is useful if you have a graphics card that can take full advantage of either port. This also means it can make full use of the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and it also supports Dolby Vision with an Xbox, which many monitors can't do. Besides its high-end gaming performance, it makes your favorite games look detailed thanks to its high 4K resolution. With high pixel density, text and images look sharp, too. Plus, it displays deep and inky blacks in dark rooms, makes small highlights pop, and has vivid colors, so it's a fantastic choice for HDR gaming. However, this monitor is expensive, and you can also check out the Dell Alienware AW2725Q if you want a similar 240Hz QD-OLED at a lower cost. That said, it lacks DisplayPort 2.1 bandwidth and is less accurate in HDR.